to have a split existence. So we're going to see if we can get all this in 5 minutes. But it all ties around money. And here's the most important thing you need to know. And it comes from, whether you like him or not, figures of Hollywood and comedy, Woody Allen, who reminded us all that money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. When I came out of college, when I was coming out of college, I was the son of an IBM executive, a career man. And therefore, having turned out a rabbi and a social worker, he was determined that somebody was going into corporate America, somebody was following his lead, somebody was going into his career. And I dutifully put on, the Italian suit, and I went out on my interviews in Manhattan. And each time I went on one, I realized more and more and more that this was not what I wanted to do with my life. All through college, I'd been a volunteer. In high school, everyone but Joanne, cover your ears. I was in Key Club for my interactors in the room. Same thing, Kiwanis sponsored. I had always been raised by my parents to have a sense of noblesse oblige, a responsibility above myself and to others. And I started to realize that I just didn't want to be that additional guy in the IBM office churning out numbers. I knew the life it had provided for my family, and I was grateful to my father for it. It just wasn't me. So I went into nonprofit work. It's what I had been doing while I was in school, and I worked for nonprofit. I started as a grants writer at a small foundation. From there, I really went to what was one of my two stratospheric experiences. I worked for Lee Iacocca at the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island, doing the corporate sponsorship end of our program for the restoration of the statue in Ellis Island. And then realized, having been at this pinnacle of New York to extreme, I couldn't stay in New York anymore. I just couldn't stand it. I had been New York to death. So I took Horace Greeley to heart. For those of you who know Horace Greeley, he was a journalist, and he said, "Go west, young man." So up I went, and I started traveling and found myself in Chicago, again working for a small charity, and then suddenly managing jazz tours and comedy tours for some of the agencies that had done work for me when I was working for Star Iacocca. And then all of a sudden found myself with this new job, this offer in front of me from an organization in Evanston. And I called my old high school principal and said, "Dr. Rankin, I've got this offer for a job. They want me to work teaching them how to fundraise for Rotary." And this Kiwanian mentor of mine said, "You have to take the job and you have to take it now. This is what I trained you for." But it's Rotary. Same thing. Go now. I took the job, and I spent 6 years traveling the globe for Rotary as their annual giving and then advancement supervisor, doing the fundraising for their foundation. It's also when I became a Rotarian, and I'm proud to say for over a quarter of a century I've been a Rotarian. Pretty heady when I like to realize that, okay, for more than half my life I've been a Rotarian. I've lost track of the exact years, but I've been involved with Rotary since 1988. So it's a big part of who I am and the decisions I make. From there, a couple other nonprofits, and my travels west kept taking me after I left Rotary out until I finally hit the West Coast. I was living in San Diego, met my son's mother, and decided I can't be on planes all the time. I can't be in meetings all the time, and all I know how to do is money. And I started thinking about my education. I have a degree in English, and these words came into my brain from Oscar Wilde. And what he said is, anyone who lives within their means suffers from a lack of imagination. So I started thinking about it, and I said, you know what? Service is just the rent we pay for being. It's the very purpose of what we do. It's not something you give your spare time to. But that doesn't mean I can't make a living and have kids and have a family. So I decided that Rotary could continue to fulfill my commitment to service, and I could go out and get a real job. And that's when I moved into financial planning work, because I thought about it, what do? I do money. So I became a financial planner. Now, a lot of people, they hear financial planner just like they hear fundraiser. They go like this, or they go like this. They're hiding their wallet. But in the very simplest of terms, all I do is help people broaden their imagination. realize that it is actually possible to live within their means and still have their commitment to community, still have their commitment to service, still send their kids to college, put clothes on them, put a roof over their head, and God willing, someday retire. And for those who are wondering, I define retirement as simply the day that work became an option. Because I've already told my kids that I'm never retiring, and that if they find that I'm done, drop me up in the broom closet. I'm done. But I intend to stay busy, because if I didn't, I'll hit the broom closet a lot faster. Here's what financial planning is. Financial planning is not what stocks you should pick. Financial planning is not how many bank accounts to have. Financial planning is not how much insurance should I have. Those are all just means to an end. Financial planning, in its simplest term, and what I try to teach each of my clients, each of the people who've worked for me or with me, and for anyone I meet, is simply looking at the questions that you have in your life, looking at the things that you want to do, and finding a way to fit the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together to match what you want. Financial planning for every single person is different. And anyone who has money and theoretically doesn't need a financial planner will be the first ones to tell you, because these are the people like the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, and so forth of life, that they all have financial planners. Because it's not about the investment. It's about clearing away the cobwebs and seeing what's in that closet that can help you send your kids to college, retire comfortably, live in the home you want to live in, give back to your church, temple, mosque, to give to your community, to give to those in need. And with a good financial planner, that's what you're able to do. So whether it's Sharif or myself or Sally Goya over in, or any good financial person from any good firm, look for somebody who can help you find the answers that are already in your heart, and you will have found the right one.